This right here is my go-to everyday fail-proof makeup, which I literally come back to again and again. These are some of my favorite products of all time. This is the Inside Scoop. But anyway, I'm gonna stop waffling. Make sure to subscribe if you're not already, and let's get into the glam. Jump scare. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is take the Ciate London Bronzing Serum, and I have to be really careful with this because I am wearing a white top. Oh my god, I'm gonna mess this up. But I take some of this and I just put it on like that, and then I take this huge blending brush, this is from Iconic London, and just blend this all in. Normally I would take my necklace off, but I can't be bothered, so we're gonna keep that on, and I just apply that in all the places where I want like a bit of an extra glow. And now skin prep. Now I'm ashamed to admit that I kind of thought that Rhode was a bit of a gimmick. I don't know, just something about it being like Hailey Bieber's brand, and obviously Hailey Bieber being like in all the trends. Is her skincare actually gonna be good? But when I say I do not go a day without applying this product, I mean it. This is the Rhode Glazing Milk, and if I'm feeling particularly fancy, I'll also use some of the Rhode Glazing Fluid. Honestly, if you've been debating getting any Rhode skincare, this is your sign to do it. Like, just look at how hydrated my skin is already. For the final step of skin prep, I'm gonna use my Glow Recipe Watermelon Dewdrops, and this is really running out, so I've just been like scraping around the inside of the bottle to get the last of this out. But this is another product that I just cannot live without. I need to go and buy myself another one. So that is skin prep done. Now we can move on to the actual makeup. I am not even going to insult you by making you guess what primer I'm using. e.l.f. Power Grip. At this point, I honestly just sound like a broken record. This is pretty much the only primer I ever use these days. Today, I am using the one with niacinamide in it, but to be honest, there isn't like a huge difference I find in like how it actually affects your makeup. I guess it's just good to have like skincare benefits too. For foundation, I'm kind of torn between two because right now I am loving my Kylie Cosmetics Power Plush Longwear Foundation, but I am also loving my Makeup by Mario. I think given that I'm like a little bit bronzed, I'm going to use my Makeup by Mario because this is a little bit dark. This is shade 6W, and to be fair, if I want to do more of like a full coverage look, I'll tend to go for my Mario, whereas Kylie is a bit more like natural and everyday. But both of these just have the nicest glowy finish. I personally love a glowy base. Like when I put my liquid products on, like my foundation, my concealer, my bronzers, I want my skin to look wet. Like I want to look like I've just dunked my face in a bowl of water. And then once all the creams are on my skin, I want to go in with my powder, mattify everything, and then go in with a setting spray. That is my current like skin routine of how I like it to work, and that is what I find makes my makeup stay in place all day as well. So to blend in foundation, I'm going in with this beauty blender, and this beauty blender, why is it so underrated? Why do I never hear anyone speak about this beauty blender? This is from the Beauty Crop, and I'm pretty sure that it comes in like a duo. It comes with a pink one as well. I've genuinely bought about 5 different ones of this sponge because it's just the best. Like, it's the best sponge I've ever tried. It's better than the Beauty Blender one. It's better than Morphe. It's just so squishy. How do I actually do this every time? I don't know what it is, but something about speaking while doing my makeup routine means that I just completely change my entire routine up. Why have I gone in and just started doing my foundation? Every single time I do my makeup, I start with eyes. But something about talking means that I decide to do skin makeup first. Anyway, we're gonna forget that I have done my foundation. We're just gonna leave it and we're gonna go onto the eyes. And my reasoning for that is I find that when I do my eye makeup first, I apply less skin makeup, and I think it's because when I'm applying like foundation and concealer and I see that my eyes haven't got anything on them, I'm like, oh my god, I look rough, I need to overcompensate, and I end up applying way more product. So I've learned that by doing my eyes first, my skin makeup looks a lot more natural at the end. For concealer on the eyes, I just used my Urban Decay Naked Quickie Concealer. This is in the shade 30CP, I think that is. And to set my eyes in place, I'm just going to use my Kylie Cosmetics. Oh my god, this palette is so bashed up. This is my Kylie Cosmetics. I think this is just their bronzy palette. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what palette this is. But I'm just gonna go in with this shade here. This is shade Vanilla, and I'm just gonna set my entire eyelid. And then to bronze up like the outer corner of the eye, I'm gonna go in with a bit of Unmatched mixed in with Vanilla. And we're just gonna do like a really, really soft kind of warm outer corner, if that that makes sense. One question that I get that I feel like I don't answer enough is, what makeup brushes do I use? And honestly, my brushes are just a mix of everything. Like, look at this. This is just one of my makeup brush storage containers, but they're all just like a mix of different brands. But if there is one brush collection that I would recommend to the ends of the earth, it is the Morphe X Ariel. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Ariel? I don't know. And this brush is one of my favorites from their collection. This is, does it have a number? No, it doesn't have a number. This brush is great. It's just the perfect size, the perfect fluffiness, and it means that you don't have to be too precise when blending out the eyeshadow, which just means that it blends way better. So that is it for eyeshadow. Now I'm gonna do a smoky wing, and for that I'm gonna use my Jordana Tisha Nude Divinity palette, and this is another one where she's looking rough, but a palette that looks like this is a sign of a good palette. And for the wing, I think I'm going to use a mix of Astral, which is the shade down here, and Aphrodite, which is this one here. And I just take that on a little angled brush. And this part is probably the part that took the most like perfecting out of my makeup routine, because one thing I have learned in the 7 years that I've been doing makeup is that everyone's eye shapes are so different, and so what wing you do will affect how your eye looks, and no wing looks the same on two people. I feel like I explained that really badly, but basically it took me a long time to figure out what eyeliner shape I liked on my eyes. So now what I tend to do is literally follow as if the line of my eye is going straight. So once it reaches this like high point here, I just pull it straight out. But that's kind of what it looks like, and it's so easy to do with eyeshadow because you can just dust it on rather than being really scared to use like a black pen liner. And then for the lashes, I'm going to use, of course, my Laura Mercier lash curler, followed by my Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. Now this next step is totally personal preference. I definitely don't do this every day. I just do this every now and then if I want to like spice up the makeup look a bit. But every now and then I will take some of these Amore Lashes little clusters, or sometimes I take the Kiss No Glue lashes as well. Those are some of my favorites. And I will just take 2 clusters and pop them on like the outer corners of my eyes. I'm just going to add a tiny bit of eyeliner to my lash line, and then we can move back to the skin. Okay, this is the fun part. The concealer, I've actually been liking taking 2 different concealers. At first, I take, again, the Urban Decay Naked Quickie Concealer, and then the Makeup by Mario Concealer. And with the Urban Decay Concealer, I just take that on like the high points of my face, but not directly under my eyes. And then the Mario Concealer, I take right under my eyes, because this shade is a tiny bit lighter. And then we blend it in. And once that is all blended in, I'm going to go in with, of course, my trusty ABH powder in translucent. Sorry about that, not quite sure why my camera decided to stop recording on me. But the reason that I like to powder under my eyes before going in with cream contour on cream blush is because I often find that my concealer creases. And by having the powder like on there, in place, to kind of set it all down while I'm doing the rest of it, it just helps keep the makeup on and lasting longer. So now that that's in place, we're going to leave that to bake for a little bit, and I'm going to go in with cream bronzer and cream blush. Now you guys know that I love my Made by Mitchell curve case, but I have actually discovered a new favorite cream bronzer. This is the KVD Good Apple Bronze and Sculpt Balm Duo. This is in the shade Light 200. So I'm just going to take some of this on a little brush and start patting that into my skin. And for liquid blush, we're going to use the e.l.f. Camo Liquid Blush in the shade Peach Perfect. And this stuff goes a long way. You really do not need much. And I'm feeling lazy, so I'm just going to use the same brush to blend that in. So I think that will do. Hope it's looking even on both sides. And now that we've done that, I'm actually going to go in with another layer of powder. But this time I'm going to go over much more of my face. I'm going to go down my jawline here, over my chin and around my lips, back under my eyes, just to like make sure that that's all nice and smooth, and then in the center of my forehead. To powder bronze, I'm using the YSL All Hours Hyper Bronze, and I'm going to use this to almost set the places where I didn't powder before, so around the outside of my forehead and along my cheekbone. cheekbones. Also gonna take some of this down the middle of my nose. And for powder blush, some things honestly just never change. Like, why fix something that isn't broken? I'm gonna use the ABH Blush Trio in Peachy Love. Now, what would a Flo makeup look be without faux freckles? I'm gonna use the Lottie London Freckle Tint, and this is one step where I do actually really take my time. I feel like freckles can really make or break a look. They can take it from looking really cute and natural to looking very OTT and very kind of cakey in a very short space of time. And for the final step before we set our makeup in place, I'm gonna go in with highlighter. This is Benefit Cookie. I'm just gonna take this on a little brush and put it down the center of my nose and the tip of my nose, in my inner corners, and using a fluffy brush on my cheekbones. Now, I never thought that I would say this, but this step has become possibly my favorite step in my entire skin routine, and that is setting spray. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray, and I didn't get the hype of this until I paired it with another setting spray. So what I do is I spray some of this over my entire face, and then I wait until it is completely dry. And only once that is dry do I go in with literally the most game-changing product I think I have ever tried. This is the One Size Setting Spray, and this stuff is literally like hairspray but for your face. It's literally so good. But even though this keeps my makeup in place, I do still pair it with the Charlotte Tilbury Setting Spray, because I just feel like once I've powdered and added a ton of products to my skin, this is what makes my skin look skin-like and natural and glowy. Like, tell me my skin does not look just glowy and healthy and natural. Really quickly, I'm just going to finish off the eyes by adding a tiny bit of like a bronzer type shade to my under eye. And I can't lie, I do change my mind all the time on what I like to do with my waterline, but I think today I'm going to take a nude liner in the waterline. This is the Victoria Beckham one. And then for the bottom lash line, I'm going to use the e.l.f. Lash Extender. For brows, I've been keeping it super simple. I've just been using the ABH Brow Wiz in the shade Soft Brown. And honestly, the more I do my makeup, the less I fill in my brows. The days of the crazy 2016 like block brows are far behind me, because now I honestly barely even fill in my brows at all. I feel like, especially since going blonder, I definitely like to have a more natural looking brow. And for brow gel, I've actually gone back to the NYX Brow Glue. I don't know what happened. I went through a little phase where I just wasn't using this as much, but I've fallen back in love with it. It's just so good at setting your brows in place, and it's so affordable as well. I don't know why I ever stopped using it. But with that, we are on to the final step of the makeup, which is lips. And probably my most asked question whenever I post or go live on TikTok is, what is your lip combo? So I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. First, I go in with the Refi Lip Sculpt, of course, in the shade Taupe. And with this, I just apply it to my lips, overlining slightly and completely overlining my Cupid's bow. Once I've done that, I leave the setter to kind of work its magic for about 2 minutes until it starts to go like a tiny bit cloudy. And then I take a piece of kitchen roll or a cotton pad or whatever and just pat it off. Only thing with this is you do have to make sure that you get all the setter off, because if you don't and then you apply this lipstick, it kind of goes a bit patchy and weird, so just make sure that you do that. But the lipstick I'm going to use is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Lip Velvet in the shade Peachy Nude. This is just the most gorgeous colour and consistency. I've tried so hard to be a gloss girl, but I'm just not. It's so messy. I keep having to reapply it. It always goes patchy. I honestly think I'm just going to be a matte lip girly for life. And guys, that is the finished look. I honestly had so much fun filming this for you. I just love makeup so much. You'd honestly think that after like 7 years of filming makeup content, I'd have got bored of it. But no, I love it just as much as the first day I did it. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you want to see more makeup content, more beauty content, or if you want to see more vlogs. Honestly, whatever you want, I'm just here to give you what you would like. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.